And welcome to Wisdom Inspired by Abba. Once again, we study Abba's holy word and learn the important nuggets that will help our life be changed and transformed. And today we're going to talk a very important factor that's dealing with our children and how you can better teach your children the ways of Abba. So we're going to start today in Proverbs 22:6, reading out of the Living Bible. It says, "Teach a child to choose the right path, and when they are older, they will remain in it." You see, it's very important that we actually teach our children the right path. Teach them the right way to go. Now think about this for a minute. If you look at the world and the animals and the birds, how do their children learn? How do their offspring learn? They learn by watching the parents. How does a bird learn to fly? It doesn't come out of the egg knowing how to fly, but it watches the mama bird and it sees what it does. And it says, one day I'm going to be just like mama. I'm going to soar in the sky. And you, my friend, are being watched the exact same way. So it's very important that we take time to teach the children. You cannot expect a game, you cannot expect the TV, you cannot expect the phone or social media to teach them. It will probably teach them the wrong things, and you'll be dealing with behaviors and things you would not have to deal with if you take time to teach them the right path and the right choices. This is what Abba tells us, and he's never wrong, never has been wrong, and never will be wrong. So it is very important. Let's go on today to the next verse, and it comes to us in Deuteronomy 11 and 19 in the New Life Version. It says, "Teach them to your children." Now, them is speaking about the early part of that chapter, talks about the right ways, the way you should live, the way you should treat your fellow man, the way you should honor your mother and father. So you need to teach your children the right ways. Talk to them about those ways. When you sit down in your house, when you walk on the road, or in today's vernacular, when you're in the car riding, I just realized how many times have you seen a family walking down the road and each one of the children's got their head down on their phone, not paying any attention to what's going on. These are learning times. These are times you should be teaching your children important factors. And when you do, they are listening. And hey, let me just say this. If you're doing things you shouldn't do, you may think your children aren't watching and learning, but they are. So you've chosen to have the children. Now you must choose to teach them the right ways. You must know that they are watching you just as the baby bird watches the mama bird. So we must teach them both in letting them watch us and talking to them and speaking to them. The rest of that verse says, when you get ready to lie down at night for the bed, teach the children. When you get up in the morning, teach the children. Their whole life should be about learning, watching, asking questions. You sitting down with them and saying, "Hey, tell me about your day. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what things were good. What did you like? What don't you like?" And as they begin to open up to you and talk to you, you will have the ability to teach them the right and the proper ways, knowing in your mind that once you get the right way in there, they will begin to make the right decisions. And hey, your life is going to be much easier. You won't be dealing with as many problems. Why? Because number one, you have showed them the proper example. And number two, you have taken time to teach them the right ways, the right paths, and they will make the right decisions. Let's go on today and look at the last verse for today. That's going to come to us from Ephesians, the 6th chapter, the 4th verse. Reading it to you out of God's Word translation, it says, "Parents, don't make your children bitter about life." Well, how are you going to make your children bitter about life? Remember, I said earlier, your children are watching and they're listening. If you're going around all the time complaining about life and how things are bad, and oh, I wish it could be different, what is the child going to think? What do I have to grow up for? Just more bitterness, just more life that is not any good. See, we must be aware that the children are listening and watching our every move. The word goes on to say, instead, bring them up in Abba godly principles and discipline and instruction. I can assure you that if you use Abba's word as your guide, you will not go wrong, because it teaches the right way to live. It teaches the children to honor the mother and father. It teaches the children to respect their elders. It teaches the children to make the right decision by learning what is right and what is wrong. So my friend, today, if you will follow what Abba's word says in dealing with your children, number one, realize that they are watching you. And number two, they are listening to you. And then you must make time to spend with them and teach them. Don't expect anything or anybody other than yourself to teach your children the right principles. And when you do this, your life will be much better. You're going to have the joy of seeing your children grow and develop. You're going to have the joy of seeing your children make the right decisions. How do I know this is true? Because Abba's word promises, we read the scriptures, if we teach the children the right and proper ways, they will walk in them, they will live them, and they will not depart from them. They will not make the wrong decisions. So my friend, I thank you for listening today. Let's all do a better job about teaching our children, understanding it is important to know that they are watching and listening to us. And I thank you this week for joining in. Share this with a friend. If you know someone that's having trouble with their children, share this show with them. It will be a big help to them. Come back next week. Make sure you follow me. And once again, we will study wisdom inspired by Abba.